Okay, well, good to know that it is actually working. Got some intel from the homie Bob that the streams are actually showing up, so that's good. It's probably just some kind of censoring or matrix attack on me, more than likely, but it's good to know I can still get the message out there to the world. So, yeah, in case you guys, can see this and hear me speaking, well, it's good to hear from you and good to see you again, even though I can't see you or hear from you. It's still good. And yeah, see, we'll see how long I last out here in the sun. I might go inside here in a minute, waiting for this service appointment. So gonna have a little bit of time, but way hotter out here in the sun than I thought. So we will see how long I last. But again, it's good to know that you guys can see me, hear me, even if I can't see or hear you. And again, really weird, not sure why. It says chat is allowed, it says, all the settings should be right. There's no active strikes or things against my channel, so I'm not really sure why it wouldn't let me see your guys' chats. And it does say afterwards too, it says how many chats were sent, so I can clearly see there's something going on here. Maybe it's just a temporary issue. Oh, appreciate you, Universal. Thank you very much, man. Well, I can see and hear you, so thank you for that. Makes me feel a bit better now. So we're not under a total matrix attack just yet. Just a little glitch, and we can deal with a glitch, man. We can deal with that. What's up, man? Not too much. Just hanging out. Just wanted to pop in, see how you guys are doing. So but we are what? Yeah, we will see. Matrix glitch is underway. Tries to slow those. It tries to slow anyone down that's making any type of progress or trying to do anything other than what the Matrix is intended for, right? I mean, if you're just kind of being a good little participant and going around doing what you're supposed to, then you'll probably be fine. But the minute you try to step and break free, it's like, oh, you're under full-blown attack. So, again, yeah, we will see how long I last out here, man. It's pretty hot. But again, I appreciate you keeping me informed that I'm indeed heard and seen. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Just wanted to check in. It's good to see we got a couple people coming through. For some reason on my other channel, it would not let me talk to people. So I was thinking maybe it was going to be the same on here, but it does not appear to be so. It appears to be allowing. So maybe it's like, oh, well, let's see how he does. Let's give him a chance. But if I do one thing wrong or say one thing wrong, it's right back to the slammer. And we don't want that. We don't want that. We want good vibes and, well, just want to be here and say what's up. So gonna be out here. Well, I'm gonna go inside in a minute because again, it's really hot, and I got about an hour. It's gonna take an hour at the service center, so I don't really want to be standing out here too long. Just because it's kind of, I don't know why. It's not under Matrix guidelines, I guess. They want me to go sit inside. No, I really don't know. But yeah, thanks for everyone stopping by. It is really bright. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. I really don't. But it's been a while. And you know, for good reason. There's a lot to do, and there is not a lot of time. Seems like nowadays get I get to the end of the day and I'm like, geez, man, where'd all the time go? You know, I feel like before I would get bored and I would be like, man, I wish I could pass the time. Now it's like, oh, I wish I had more time. And it's a really weird shift, but you know, you got to make do with it. And you know, there's just not a lot of time for a lot of things. You got to kind of prioritize and do what is most important. And hopefully then you're not trying to catch up later, because you know, it's going to be hard to catch up. It's easier when you're just staying, you know, not ahead, but you know, it's easier when you don't get behind, because then you got to try to catch up, and then that takes a lot of time. And yeah, it's a beautiful day to say the least. The sun is shining, and we are here. We're here. So maybe we'll try this again later. It's good to know that it works, and yeah. Try to dodge this leaf blower. What's up, Mookie? Yeah, bro, I'm doing pretty good out here. It's a little hot. A little hotter than I anticipated, but you know, we're doing good out here, man. Just chilling. Hope you're doing good too, man. Yeah, it's good to hear from you guys. I just wanted to pop in, see how everybody is, or see as many people as possible. Don't really, I mean, it's not that I don't have the time for this, it's just I don't have the same time that I used to, and then I, you know, can only really give so much time to, you know, doing things now that aren't a part of the schedule, because, you know, day, like I was saying earlier, the day just goes by so fast. It's like before I know it, it's already time to go to bed again. Yeah, Northern California. It's a good. Yes, that is where I'm at. Generally speaking. I'm just waiting at this service center appointment right now. Hopefully this won't take me too long, but it's going to take as long as it's going to take, and then I will be heading out of here. So I've been trying to pop in all day, or you know, this is my third attempt, I think. Yeah, third attempt. And I noticed that it wouldn't let people chat earlier. I don't know if that was just because YouTube was like, well, let's, you know, start them off on a leash and then we'll see where things go. And we've passed the 10-minute mark, and You know, there's been no crash outs. So I guess that's probably good enough for them. And I can't see anything, so I do apologize. It's really bright, so I'm squinting. Yeah, it's been some time. I realized my last stream was a year ago, and so again, it's been a while, but I'm glad you guys are still out there. You know, I wouldn't expect you to be, but I appreciate it. And it seems like things are going good over here, so that's all we can ask for. Got Universal and Mookie in the chat commenting it up. Thanks for the words. I am sweating now, just standing here. It's that hot. Yes, it's weird to think that just a little under a month ago there was a couple feet of snow on the ground, and now it's, you know, got short t-shirt and shorts on, and it's really hot. Yo, what's up, playlist? I saw you comment. Good to have you back. Good to see you. So yeah, thank you guys for joining. I don't really know what else we're gonna do here other than say hello, because I really didn't plan on doing anything particular, just saying hello. Yeah, I appreciate that comment. Am I going back to the Alan Watts commentary grind? I don't really think I can, to be honest. Mainly for the reason that, you know, if you guys ever really heard too much about that whole deal, you know, it really kind of got to the point with them that they were, I don't know, they really want to do what they're doing right now and keeping everything really, like, contained, I guess. I'm not really sure what the right thing to say would be, but they don't want people, you know, when I got fired from, because they basically offered me a position and I took it, and then I got let go because I wasn't following the guidelines that they gave me, even though I'm not really sure why. They didn't really give me a reason. They just said all of a sudden, oh, you're not following the guidelines. And, you know, no clear reasoning. They just kind of let me go from that, and kind of had to just go quiet for a while because I didn't really know what to do from there. And it was just kind of, I mean, it is what it is, you know. It doesn't seem like and they've changed, like, they've had different people take the position of the person who was, you know, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like, it seems like a lot of people have moved in and out of that position of contacting creators who were allowed to, you know, work with them and not. And I don't know. It seems kind of like a mess over there. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I could get back in, but it just kind of seems like at this point, it's like kind of in the past. And as much as I would love to, I would rather be able to have more freedom doing that and not have to follow this long list of guidelines that are really not even clear. Like, and again, maybe things have changed. I really don't know. But thank you for bringing that up, man. Sorry, it kind of took me back memory lane. You know, obviously that's where this mostly started, and some good times, but yeah, you know, I'm thinking about trying some different things here, and growing the hair out playlist. Yep, it's really just due to not getting a haircut in a while. That'll do it to you. Haven't gotten a haircut in a while. Just read the straight up Buddhist stories. Oh, sorry, I missed your other one. The Weather That Is. Wait, what? Sorry, I kind of lost it there, but yeah, well, you'll have to get back to me on that. Just read the straight up Buddhist stories. There's more to it too than just, oh yeah, for sure, there's more to it than Alan. And I'm glad things are chilling with you, man. No, it was a good time. Honestly, now I think walking away from that whole thing for a while was probably for the best, because I feel like, it's great wisdom and knowledge and stuff, but how much does that actually apply? And what I don't even know. I'm not trying to say my life is better now, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was better when I was listening to, all that stuff is great, but it's all pretty far out there stuff. It doesn't really kind of help me in today's issues. Like, it's like I don't know, it's nice to know, it's nice to hear, but at the end of the day, what does that all really do for you? And it's not about, I guess, it doing anything for you, but I don't know. Well, they don't own the Buddhist scriptures. No, that's super true. And I guess that's kind of the thing, right? Is I'm not really a Buddhist. I'm not really religious. I'm just kind of a learning person. And I find things interesting here and there. And so, what's up, Trek? How you doing, man? Good to see you. No, not jailed. That's kind of a harsh way to put it. But I definitely got fired, I guess would be the best way of putting it, because I was not under any kind of a contract, right? I was just posting willy-nilly, doing what I wanted to do, and then I was reached out to by the representative, who I swear is I feel like 3 or 4 people have replaced that representative in the time being, is what I'm trying to say. Since they reached out to me. So that's what I mean by things have changed and they kind of seem like a mess over there. It seems like they don't really have a very, strong, structured organization. Now, maybe that's just me looking in from the outside and that's how it appears. But again, I don't really know. Not really a big deal. Jailed. I guess that's, you could put it that way. But no, once I was let go from that position, which again, I was never really even I never really even got to do anything in that position because the guidelines were so unclear. And when I started to attempt to follow the guidelines from how it appeared, then I was let go. And I was hit with several warnings, oh, if you continue to do this, we will take legal action. And that's when I was just like, well, this isn't really worth dealing with legal consequences, because I just, I'm not trying to fight the system. I just literally wanted to kind of build a community and hang out with people. And it seemed like I seemed reasonable enough, but again, it just went the way it went. So I appreciate you, Playlist. You stay blessed as well, man. Obviously, things are, life happens, but just keep going. Just do your thing, whatever that is, makes you happy. And the Buddhist shit just tells you there's nothing anyone else could teach you to make you happy. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you, bro. It's not, and it's not all about being happy. It's just, we're just here and things happen and it's all good. But, yeah, I would say, again, lately, haven't been on here for a while because I haven't really felt like I should. I don't know. I'm not trying to be negative. I just didn't really feel like there was any reason for me to be here. And maybe that was a good thing to leave for a while. Um, yeah, stay in the middle. I can respect that, you know. Again, I don't really know anything, but um, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I said before, this is all I can really, this is as deep as I can go because anything else just doesn't sound real to me, coming from me. But like, you know, if you asked me a year ago, I'd be like, well, I'm pretty bored pretty often. The day goes by really slow and I wish I could pass more time. And then if you asked me today, I'd be like, I don't even know how it's already 2:00. Like, it just goes by, and then before I realize it, I'll be getting ready to go to sleep. It just goes by that quickly, where I don't really have the time to sit and think, well, what should I be doing, or what? And maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I really don't know. It just is what it is. Again, I'm not really trying to figure it out. I'm just commenting on that. I appreciate that, Nova. Well, I'm glad you're still hanging around, man. That really means a lot, you know. Again, after everything, like I said, I wouldn't expect people to, but the fact that you are, you know, tells me a lot about you and, you know, you guys, and, you know, just, I'm thankful for that. You know, I've definitely learned a lot. I've come a long way for myself, and it's partly why I haven't been here, is because, you know, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, me and all that, and I feel like I've done a good job, but obviously there's always more, and, you know, we all make mistakes, but, you know, the mistakes are kind of the only way to learn, you know. I realized that I say the other night, this probably was a couple months ago now. I was trying to make this pasta that I've never made before, and, you know, I pretty much messed up every single step. Like, I don't think I could have made more mistakes in the process. But then I was sitting thinking about it after I was done, and I was like, you know what? If I just did this different and did this like this and did that, it'd be fine. It'd be great. And I made it again and came out perfect. Came out exactly as I wanted. So, like, that's literally what I mean by, you know, you have to fail, you have to make mistakes, and as long as you don't keep making the same mistakes, it's all too perfect. That's the whole point. You know, if we knew everything, then there would be no point probably to being here, because, I mean, you know, what would be the point of that? Detachment for the win. I don't even feel detached, to be honest. I mean, that's definitely not a bad thing either, but because I feel super here in the moment. I feel more here than ever, really. Like, I feel more here right now than I have on any, you know, shroom trip or anything like that. I feel more here. But it's just the not getting bored and the not knowing what to do. It's like, it kind of just feels like this flow where it's like, oh, you know, it's just take one step and then another, and then all of a sudden we're done. You know, we're at the finish line for the day. So, but I feel very, like, aware of every step. It's not like I'm just like, it's not like I'm blurring through it. Like, you know, obviously, like, one of the things I've done recently, which, again, I don't know if it's good or bad, but I stopped smoking weed, and that definitely helped me out a lot. Personally, I don't think I couldn't necessarily say that would help you or do the same thing it did for me for you, but it really made a difference. And, you know, of course, I will always miss certain things about it or miss memories, but pretty much has helped me, you know, just have more sense of clarity, and now, like, now that I don't do it, or haven't done it for about 5 months, I wouldn't, you know I don't even know how I would have time to do that, because I feel like I don't even have 10 minutes to, like, waste. I make one wrong turn while I'm driving, or I do one miscalculated step, and then I'm like, oh god, I just wasted more time than I have. And that's from smoking every day for 10 years. So again, I really don't know if it would help you. It might. I'm not trying to, this is not about that at all. I'm just, if somebody was going to ask me, oh, what do you think you've done differently? Well, obviously that's one of the things. Hey, good man. I'm glad your memory is good from not smoking. That probably, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but because now that I'm out of it, it's like, oh, well, obviously wouldn't really help you or anyone. But again, I don't. But that's good, man. I'm glad you have the willpower for that. Trek, was it hard? I'll say this, because I don't want to sound dramatic. I don't want to sound, I don't want to say things that I don't really mean. But for me, it's not something I ever thought I was capable of doing, because I just thought that it didn't really affect me that much, and I just thought that it was something that kind of even helped me. Like, I thought I had all these issues. I thought I had trouble sleeping. I thought I had problems with my stomach. I thought I had a ton of issues. Like, I thought I had anger management issues. I thought I had just a whole list of things, right? And I realized that I don't really have any of those issues. Those were kind of just like, I was kind of being stuck in like an endless loop. And I thought those things would all get worse if I stopped. And again, not to go too far away from this topic, but it wasn't even something I wanted to do. Like, I really didn't try to. I just, the last time I remembered smoking, I like literally couldn't breathe for like 3 hours. I was just sitting in my room, like struggling to breathe. And not, 3 hours could be exaggerated. It felt like 3 hours. It could have been an hour. It could have been 4. I really don't know. But I could not breathe. And I just kept getting really bad headaches. And I was like, maybe I just need to try and stop. And so I did. And it was like maybe hard for a couple days, and then started feeling better than ever. So was it hard? I don't think I could have done it unless I was supposed to, because I was not in the mindset to. I was really just, I don't know, but it just, now when I look at it, it's like, oh yeah, it was time. It couldn't have been more time to do that. And yeah, it was only hard for a few days, and kind of conveniently I got a pretty bad cold at the same time. So it just was like, I felt terrible anyway, and I was just kind of laying in bed for a few days. And then as soon as a few days passed, I like started feeling way better, started sleeping, started, feeling normal. And yeah, man, it ended up being a good thing. That's good for you, playlist. I hope you keep it up, man. Just for you, don't obviously do what you want to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but it's good, man. That's it'll show you a lot. So, I mean, urge is still there for me too, man. I mean, but then I think about it. I'm like, if I could turn it off after like 5 minutes, then I would be fine with it. But the fact is, I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole. So I think about it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. And then I like go down the rabbit hole a little bit. I'm like, oh, but then I would feel like I have to do it every day, and then this, and then that, and then I'm like turned off by the idea. So waste of money and bad for the lungs is my top problems. There you go, man. Waste of money. It's a great way. I mean, it is. I'm not trying to be one of those guys, but if you just took that same amount of money and, bought some crypto or just put it in a savings account, you would see after a year, 2 years, 5 years, how much that really adds up to. And so I try not to think about that, because obviously I could really freak myself out, like, oh, I've spent more money than I've ever made. But it is what it is. Oh yeah, man, it sounds like you had a good run. 13 years, that's long enough. It's definitely time to let it go at a certain point, especially if you've had your fill with it. Like, I think that's probably the main thing too. You gotta, just like anything else, it's almost easier to speed run something and get it out of the way than it is to like prolong it. And if I wasn't such a heavy user, would I still do it? Probably, because then it's a lot easier to justify. It's like, oh, I only do a little bit, and then you're kind of stuck in that, oh, it's just a little bit, and then that could be that. I mean, that's like the trap. The trap is that not seeing how it's bad for you, and not, at least like running into such negative so quickly. Well, not that 10 years is quick, but some people do things their whole life before they get a certain message, So, God, it's really hot out here. Phone's gonna die. Let's see here. What's up, Sammy? How's it going? I can't even see the screen, by the way, so I don't know what I look like, or if I look weird just squinting at you guys. Like, I promise I'm not mad. I just really cannot see. It's so bright. If Apple came out with that nano texture for the iPhone, I would certainly pay extra for that. I don't know why they don't offer that. Is it a strange feeling? It is a strange feeling, because I realize it's not even that good while high. My brain overrates it and ignores the damage. I think that's the problem with it. It's definitely an overrated experience, because when you feel good, you don't really need to change anything. And I would argue that we probably feel good just as we are, and then we do all these other things, and that's where we get mixed up, because I feel fine. I feel great. I feel, like I could really do anything, so it's good. Just keep going. But it certainly, well, and my friend was saying this the other day. This was actually the other day. It was like 2 weeks ago now, maybe. But he was saying, oh, or I was at his house, and he was like, oh, it just makes it easier to chill. And I was like, yeah, but in my head, I'm like, well, doesn't that like hang out, as in like chill is with other people, you get high, it's easier to hang out with people. And I'm like, well, maybe we shouldn't be doing that. I hate to say it, but I mean, it's fine to hang out every once in a while, but like, if all you're doing is hanging out, I'm not trying to, be an ass, but there's probably some better things we could do. And I mean, even if you're not working hard, you could do something productive or creative. And it's hard to do that with a lot of people, because a lot of people just kind of distract you and keep you from doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I'm not saying don't talk to anybody, but I feel like I feel like when you're on a self-improvement path, it's very clear how many people are not good for that path. Like, you could love this person, they could be your best friend, but it'll just be very clear when you're on that path and you're not trying to be, you just are. You're just every decision you make is to, even if it's not to get better, it's just to learn or different things. So getting old, I guess. Yeah, it's all a number. Got another year and then I'll be 30, so. See here, that you're still dabbling with the idea, man, and I respect it, because you're not wrong. If you had the self-discipline to do something like that once a month, it probably would have zero effect on you. The rabbit hole I'm talking about, at least for me, is like, it always starts off with that intention, right? And you could be so intent on just, I'll just do it even just once a day, right? Let's just be more even realistic than once a month, right? Let's just say once a day. And then something happens, and then it's like, all of a sudden you're doing it twice a day, and then it just builds and it just gets easier and easier. And that's kind of that rabbit hole I'm talking about. Is like, you could try it. You could go in with the best mindset humanly possible. You could go in strong as ever. You could go in, just fully intent on mastering it, and in that sense of having that control. And I'm just saying, me as a person, since I've done this, because it's not like I've never not tried to quit before. I've tried many times, right? But that's why I feel like this feels different, because I didn't try. I didn't want to. It wasn't a want. It was a literal need. It was like, well, if I don't do this, well, I don't want to find out. It wasn't a want. It wasn't like, oh, I want to get rich, I want to get this, I want to get that. It wasn't about getting. It was just about letting go. And it just became a time where it was like, okay, this has just gone on for too long. No amount of moderation or anything was going to change this whole thing for me. It's like, if I don't stop and just move on and fill that time with other things, it'll never change. It doesn't matter how I think and again, somebody else might be different. You might be different. Other people might have the willpower, I don't really know. I kind of like to think that most of us are pretty similar, in the sense that at least all it takes is one more justification, like, oh, well, I have nothing to do today, so I might as well start earlier, or I might as well wake and bake. And it's just so easy to just justify a little bit more each time. And some people are so bad that it can get them to really mess up their lives. I don't think we're all that bad. I think it's, more people are pretty level-headed than not, but there's just people out there, you give them an inch and they take a mile, right? So you just gotta think about it. I just don't feel like I just don't like to do it once a month or so. It makes me feel so high. Yeah, that's a good point, man. It's almost too much. And then it's like, well, I didn't ask for this. it's nice, and I can completely agree. It's nice doing it every day because then you can kind of manage it and it's more realistic. But again, then that's where you just run into more issues than not. Like, everything compounds, I think. I really kind of believe that. Like, every decision, everything you do, it's almost like a snowball. And that snowball just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it could be positive or negative, and that snowball might get you in trouble, right? So we've got a few getting behind. You're trying to grow mushies though? Well, go ahead, man, try it out. I don't see any harm in that. Yeah, let me know how it goes. I know a lot of people that do it. Seems like, again, that's one of those things where I doubt you, but maybe you need to go through that whole rabbit hole as well. You need to spend a long time, or not a long time, but you need to spend X amount of time growing them, and then take some one day and then just sit there and be like, oh shoot, why? I don't need to do this. Or maybe it's like, oh, this was great, turn it into a business or a hobby. I don't know, but you'll find out the further you get. You quit because of physical issues, then realize how much of a mental block it was too. Yeah, it's equally both. It's equally both, man. I'll just say this, I don't think it's really gonna hurt you beyond repair, but it's certainly not helping, right? So now my biggest battle is telling myself a joint would be okay, even though it's technically more smoke, just not as concentrated. Yeah, you're right there, man. You're still fighting those little, those little battles. Those are probably the hardest, because I can't argue one way or another. It might be bad. It might be fine, but I think I would hate to tell somebody try it and then have to go through that whole thing again. Like, again, if you're the type of person, you've never had an issue with something, then you probably have very good self-control. You could probably just do something sometime and then be fine. But what I'm saying is, I think that most people are not that way, and as good of control as you think you have, it's really easy to just get to a point where you all of a sudden have none, and then you have to go through that whole experience again. Like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. When you feel like, oh, I need to, or I should do this or do something, you probably shouldn't do it. I'm just, again, not to be mean to people, not to be an ass, but I feel like you really shouldn't do things you feel like you want to do, to a degree. Now, does that mean you shouldn't drink water? Well, sure, you probably need to drink water, but that, again, is probably a need, not a want. Not a, the more you give into, oh, I want this, I want that, then it just gets harder to not live that way, and then you're getting to the same conclusion every time. So but good, man. I'm glad you're working on yourself. No, you're good, man. I'm pretty far behind as well. Let's see, it's almost 2:30. We've ourselves gone down that rabbit hole. Ryan and Playlist, you guys have brought me down that rabbit hole, and is it bad? No, I appreciate it. Thank you for doing that. I kind of forgot why I'm here all of a sudden. Why am I just standing outside? Like, I could go inside if I want. I don't really want to. I don't really want to go wait in the lobby. Now that I've acclimated to the heat and I'm already sweating and I'm sweaty, I'm just dealing with it. Like, well, it is what it is now. Have I hydrated enough? Probably could go for another bottle of water. So when I say goodbye, I will probably go inside and grab one. I'm just kind of hoping that this takes a lot less longer than they quoted. And if I get out of here sooner, then the sooner I can, I wouldn't mind a day of chilling. Sure. I think if you do enough day to day, then of course you can take time to do nothing. That's probably the best way to go, right? Don't do so much that you crash and burn and then you're like, oh my God, I can't go another day, because you have to go for a long time. You're probably, just imagine, I'm going to live till 100, okay? Like, so you can't, it's like when you're running a race, you're running a mile, you don't want to take the first lap as fast as you can, because then you're going to you can't keep that pace. I don't care who you are. If you go as fast as you can, the first lap, it's going to get slower and slower and slower and slower until you fall over and you're dying. But if you find a reasonable pace and lock in, and then you can go that pace for 4 laps or however long, whatever amount of time you're racing for. So it's kind of how you have to see life, and again, that's kind of where the decisions come in, making those good decisions. But I know we've kind of gone down this whole rabbit hole because of me. I kind of decided to share that information. That's just one, this is not about weed. All right, let's just say that. This is not about addiction. This is not about that. That's just an example. It could be a lot of things. Now, that's probably the most common example people deal with, because again, I think it comes down to self-control, and I think people think they have good self-control, and then they start doing things that are really hard to stop, and then they just can't stop, or they don't want to, and then it's like, oh, there you are. But it could be about anything. You just gotta make good decisions. So Ryan or Mookie, that's kind of the thing, man. I just don't really have time for it as much as I would love to. It's kind of, it's kind of one of those promises I can't make. Like, if I end up doing it more, then so be it. But I can't see myself like ever getting super into it again. Like, I couldn't see myself doing it even. I don't know. I couldn't even, as much as even if I wanted to, and it's not that I don't want to, but I just don't think there's really a reason for me to. Obviously say hi to you guys and talk to you guys, sure. No, but that's not what I mean. I mean, I don't think there's a reason for me to, is in sense like, am I going to try to make a big platform? Am I going to try to, do this or do that? Or anything? No, I don't really think so. I mean, I would just like to get my life in order to the point where I can do what I want when I want and kind of work on my own time. But obviously that takes time, and even if I had a good year last year, I'm not anywhere near that. I mean, I feel like is far as I've gotten, I'm still just getting started, you know. I would like to not lose the progress I've made. So I would have to, I don't know. In another year, would I be in even, hopefully, assuming that I keep compounding these good decisions and this, all of this, in a year I'd be a lot further. But I think about the decisions I've made have made, like, I could probably be exactly where I'd want to be right now if I had, like, from the moment I turned 20, had this mindset. I didn't have this mindset. I had no idea it existed. And, so you lose 10 years, and then, is it going to take 10 years for me to fix that? Maybe not. Probably not. I would hopefully be able to do it in, at very least, half the time. But, and then even then, there's always going to be something. But I'm just talking about in the sense of, like, I mean, it's gotten a lot better. Don't get me wrong. I made tons and tons of progress. And can I theoretically stream every day? Sure. I could probably set aside 30 minutes to an hour every day. So we'll see. It would be cool. Or not even every day, just a couple times a week or a couple times a month. It'd be pretty cool. Give it a try. So it all, luckily I'm at least at that point, right? I could be a lot further behind in that sense of, oh, I don't even have that kind of time. Because obviously I'm doing it right now, but this is not a typical day. Like, typically I'm not spending an hour at the service center. Typically I wouldn't, like, if I was working, if I was trying to make progress, there wouldn't be 5 minutes, because I would take that 5 minutes I had to do something with good intention in mind. Like, oh, I would, like, again, I'm not even trying to sound like I have anything figured out, because I don't, but I would, like, a lot of times when I take a break, I'll just check, like, I feel like maybe this is a bad habit to get into, but I'll either look at investments, or I'll look at, like, I definitely don't just go on social media or YouTube and scroll through videos. I don't do that, so I feel like that's kind of a positive use of my free time. But it's just crazy, man. It's like, at least for the next few months, it's going to be pretty go, and then maybe midsummer I'll have a lot more free time. But yeah, without even getting into it all that much, it's probably how it should be. Because again, if I wasn't trying to go, I probably, it would just get easier and easier to just not do anything. And then, definitely still young though. Yeah, playlist, that's super true, man. You don't even feel like doing the same stuff you did. Very good point. I'm kind of in the same boat. Obviously, I still do a lot of the same things, but what that should show you is, oh, look at how many things I did that I probably shouldn't do. Because if you can't do them just as is, you probably don't need to do them or shouldn't be doing them. And that's kind of like how my friend was saying, oh, well, if you just smoke weed, it's a lot easier to hang out with people. I'm like, yeah, but is that what we should be doing with our time? Now, I don't know. Maybe that's what you want to do with your time. And if it is, it's not like I told my friend he was wrong. I actually didn't say anything. I just thought about it. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. But I've been thinking about it for the past few weeks and like, oh, that's right there. That's a super clear example of like, if you have to smoke to hang out with people, and you probably should not be hanging out with people. And if that destroys if that makes your whole life come crashing down, then obviously there's a lot more issues there than you probably would have realized. And I would hope you would realize them, because like, this is my new saying, right? Like, if you can make something out of nothing, imagine what you can do with a lot. And so because it's completely true, you can make something literally out of nothing, in the most literal sense and in the most creative sense. And then but then imagine if you have that same mindset, but you have a lot to work with. It only can get bigger. And so, like, time, again, you guys have heard all this stuff. You don't really need to hear it from me, because I'm not trying to be this person, but time is literally the most valuable thing we have, right? And if you use your time wisely, and this is just what I'm learning. It's not like I didn't just hear this 5 minutes ago and I'm like, oh, I should tell people online this. It's like, no, I'm really like seeing it more and more every day. It's like, if you spend your time wisely and you put it to good use, it's amazing what you can accomplish. And I mean, I'm very happy to say, like, for me, one of the things I've always wanted is to have my own time, to be in control of it, to not have to like that's the hardest thing with a job, right? Especially when you don't want to do, is like, oh, you're on somebody else's schedule, you're on someone else's time, you have to be here then. Well, if something comes up, you kind of have to miss out. A birthday, somebody's born, someone gets married. Those are very small, basic examples. It could be something as simple as just, oh, it's a really nice day outside and you want to go enjoy it. But when you work for someone else, you literally can't. Or consequences will start to come up, and then you're in a worse position than you were. And so that, for me, again, a lot of people want that. They want to be their own boss. They want this, they want that. They don't want to work for someone else. They don't want to have a job. Maybe just that simply put. But to get to that position, you either have to be born extremely lucky, which most people are not, or you have to literally work harder than everyone else. And not harder, but it's a mix of hard and smart, because it's not luck. It's not, well, unless you're very 1% lucky people. Some people are just born with infinite resources, but then you might just abuse it and waste it and end up worse off than before. Like, it's a kind of a combination of learning and putting in the work. And so, again, for me, the biggest thing was, how do I own that time? How do I do that? I've heard of plenty of people figuring that out. I've seen it. Everyone sees those people online, different videos, different people talk about it, whatever. So much easier said than done. Well, it starts off with, you got to realize your time's valuable, and you got to realize what you can do with it. And then you just make small steps. It's like a little bit of progress every day, builds into more and more and more and more. And then all of a sudden, hopefully one day you're there, and I don't think it's luck. I do not think it's luck. I do not think anybody who is in a position is just luck. Again, I know I talked about those 1% people where they're born with unlimited resources, but we're not really talking about those people, because they don't really, I'd be surprised if you even know somebody like that. It's just typically people you hear about online, not even people that are real. So we can't even account for those people. You take the average person, and again, I'm nowhere near there, but I'm a lot closer than I was. And honestly, if I met myself from 2 years ago, I'd probably be really jealous. Like, I'd be like, damn, how did you do that? And it's like, well, put the time in and you can get there, And again, it's not you never want to act like you're better than anybody else, because then you'll instantly kind of regret it, and you'll have to learn that lesson. But it's another one of my new mindsets or mottos too. It's like, even when I'm up, metaphorically or physically, even when I am when I am up, like, let's just say, okay, it's a good day on the market, or it's a good day at work, or it's a good day, you feel well. Don't treat it like an up. Just keep the same mentality as you would when you're down, and don't lifestyle inflate. Don't brag, don't boast, don't even treat yourself. And some people are going to disagree with that, because they're like, no, you got to enjoy your life. I agree, but you should enjoy your life as you are. You shouldn't need to, like, go buy a new pair of shoes, or go buy a new laptop, or buy a new car to feel that. You should just feel that anyway, because then it's like all those up moments are going to stack up to so much more, and then you can really get to where you want to go. Because I think that's the problem. Like with me before, in the past, anytime I made a tiny bit of progress, I was like, oh boys, I'm up, let's fucking go, freaking go, sorry YouTube. And then before you knew it, we're back down again. We're back down, and nothing goes up and up forever. It always comes down. So how do you prepare for that down? Well, don't take the up, just take the middle. Again, this is kind of where Buddhism and stuff does come into play. But it's not even about that. It's just as simple as, think about a graph, right? A graph goes up, goes down. Just don't act on either of those moments. Don't you don't look at, like, and again, this is not advice. This is not, I don't know, I'm not really there yet, but I'm just saying this is kind of something that I'm going with, and I'm sharing it with you guys, and if it works for you, great. But holy shit, shoot. Am I trying to be a business owner? I am so busy. So sorry, Mookie. Wow, I can't even talk. You know what? I don't really want to own a business in the sense of, like, having to sell a product. Like, I will tell you, because, you're somebody who I've known for a while, and you've always supported me, and I'm not a gatekeeper. Like, something I would I'm technically looking into is, like, when, and again, you guys can feel however you want. This is not about feelings, though. This is just about numbers. Like, when to take advantage of this kind of the future, right? Because this is something a very smart person close to me has always said, is like, don't buy the past, buy the future. And they've done well for themselves. So I kind of I'm staying so closely involved with specifically what Tesla is doing with the Cybercabs. And I just, I'll tell you guys this because there's very few of you in here, and again, it's not about gatekeeping. It might be completely wrong, but I think, like, the best new business to get into is going to be having some type of robo-taxi fleet. Because, I mean, if you guys even know really what's going on with the Cybercabs right now, they are insane. They are gonna change the world, I think. If you're even familiar with Tesla's self-driving, it's already insane. But like, if I'm kind of just really eyeballing it now because it's so new and it hasn't even come out yet, but I would say starting a robo-taxi fleet, and it could just be as much as one car. But I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to have, like, I'm good at maintaining vehicles, I'm good at cleaning them, I'm good at servicing them, all that stuff. So for me, it's like, how do you make money when you're not really doing anything? And that's kind of the best business model there is. So just to answer your question very briefly, I'm really paying attention to 2027 is supposedly when they're going to come out. If I've made enough progress as I think I have, then I would like to get just one, and try it out, and see how that goes. But again, that's just an idea. That's kind of one of my better ones. But again, I'm not not trying to gatekeep. I think there's enough room for if all 6 of you guys started doing that, it wouldn't really bother me. And again, I don't even know if it's going to totally work, so don't take my word for it. But just to share, that's like the type of business I'm looking at. And again, anybody can feel a certain way about that. Like, oh, how dare you take advantage of AI or this or that. But what I've learned from smart people is that you never buy the past. You buy the future. If you're looking to make money, I guess would be the best way to put it. If you're looking to own your time, don't buy the past, buy the future. And again, that's risky, sure. We're not here to talk about all that, but that's just kind of to answer your question, bro. What is an average day? I gotta hurry up because my phone's at 18% and I need water desperately. Average day, okay, right now consists of basically wake up at 5 a.m. every day, no matter what, even if I'm not doing anything, which I'm never not doing anything. So wake up at 5 a.m. I have my alarm is set for 4:55. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Well, the past few days, I've been hitting snooze about 3 or 4 times. So let's just say I get up at 5:30. Okay, let's say my brain wakes up at 5, but I'm really getting out of bed at 5:30. Have coffee, caffeine. I think that's honestly the best thing you can do to go into a productive mindset. And then honestly, simple things, shower, get ready for the day, and then go. And then what does it look like from there? Well, it's pretty much just work until at least 5 o'clock. And honestly, we could go into that later, but I'll just keep it as vague as work because it doesn't really matter what you do. If you're just doing something that makes you money, you could work at a gas station, you could have a lemonade stand. I don't really care, but as long as you're working, you work until 5. But it's not about anyone. I'm just saying what my mindset. Okay, work till 5, and then come home, and then there's a lot of things at home I need to do, and then I really enjoy like my chill is like I have green tea, Costco green tea to be specific. It's the best kind, and then I will sometimes chill until I make dinner. Oh yeah, I've been trying to make as many meals as possible. Now, obviously, a lot of days I eat lunch on the go, but I feel like making dinner is probably one of the most, even if it takes you some time, it's an investment because it's your body and you want your body to last for the long run. So make dinner. And then honestly, I spend a lot of time with my mom. I give her a lot of my free time. So then I spend the evening with my mom, and then watch a movie or something and then go to bed. And so that's basically it. And you could say, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but it's not about that. It's about what works for me. And I'm not saying you guys would say that. I'm just saying, like, again, it's not about that, but that's kind of where I am with it. Like, you could obviously fill in the blanks, do whatever you want to do, wherever you want to do, but that's just me. And yeah, and then it's just wake up, do it all over again, and ideally do that 5 days a week. Ideally, I mean, you got to take days off. Lately, my days off, I'm trying to, rebuild this car that died on me. I'm trying to get that going again so I can sell it, and that takes up a lot of time. Like, just, and I'm not a mechanic, but I'm trying to fix it, do everything I can so I can sell that. I only need 1 car. I don't need 2. So lately, that's literally been everything. Because I'm not a mechanic. I just use YouTube to figure things out. And so sometimes it'll take me what takes someone 2-3 hours, it'll take me a whole day. It'll take me 2 days. But again, I'm not a mechanic. I don't, and that's why I genuinely prefer my Tesla over anything else, because it's about time. It's like, I don't want to do this stuff. I don't want to wrench on cars. I do not want to do that. I want to use my time wisely. I don't want to hurt my freaking body. I just want to get in and go. And so that's that mentality. It's like, I used to, whatever. It's not about that. It's just about being efficient, but I want to sell this car and I want to make as much money as I can make from it. And so I'm just doing everything I can to get it to that point. Again, take that money, invest it, buy crypto, buy stocks, buy something. But as long as, like, my thing is, like, just have capital, have cash flow, have savings, and just have a good mindset, have a good conservative mindset, not politically, just conservative in the sense of, like, I'm not going to just waste, I'm not going to just spend to spend, right? I'm going to really heavily calculate it. Like, if this doesn't have a return, we're not buying it. And then it's just, if I have tons of free time, like, which is, again, very, very rare. I can't say in the last 5 months I have had more than an hour to do nothing. Total. I don't think I've had 1 hour. This is the longest I've had to do nothing. And I'm doing something right now. I'm doing what I have to do. I'm getting new tires. So I'm here getting new tires, but I have to do that. I have to do that once a year. That's how much I drive. So tires. Am I doing nothing? Well, I'm talking to you guys, but even if I was just sitting inside the service center, I wouldn't be doing nothing. I'm getting these tires. Now, ideally, in the future, the car is going to drive itself, get the tires. So they're going to put them on. It's going to charge my account, and it's going to come home, and that's going to be that. And that's just where my mindset's going. It's like efficiency. Because what do I really want to do with my time? I'd like to just enjoy being alive, but that's where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to a point where I'm doing that, where I have that time. So my phone's going to die, you guys. I'm sorry. Hope you guys enjoyed my rant. Wait. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Mookie, that it's taking your job. It's going to take a lot of people's jobs. So, again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It honestly probably is more wrong than right, but I don't know. So I'm not going to say what it is. But it's the fact that we got to take advantage of this. We have to. Well, you don't have to, but if you do, it'll pay off. It'll benefit you. Don't get left behind. That's all I'm trying to say. Because as much as you feel a certain way about it, which is what I've learned to put my feelings aside, as much as you might feel it's right or wrong, it's good or bad, it's what's happening. It is what is happening, and there's not really a way to fight it. And, I mean, it's so crazy that I think I don't even know. I really don't think in 5 years there's going to be a need for humans. But I would hope to still be needed, so that's my mindset, is like, well, how can I still, and again, it's maybe we won't, maybe it'll completely take us over, but I'm not going to sit around and think about that either. So I hope all you guys, especially Mookie, I hope you figure out a way to not have it take your job. But again, this is kind of where putting the feelings aside, and again, I'm not trying to be an ass, because it sounds very assy, but if we do that, it'll benefit you, and I'm rooting for you guys. Don't get left behind. Don't get replaced. Be creative, of course. Have fun. Go outside. do all that, but don't allow yourself to be replaced. Like, if you're expecting things to never change, it's just not the reality. The reality is that they are. And again, we can feel any way we want, but a lot of people won't agree with me because I'm not kind of I'm not pitying the situation. But I realized that wouldn't do any good for me. It wouldn't do any good for you. If I, and again, I'm happy to be wrong if I'm wrong and this all turns out to be nothing. But I think this is going to be so much so something that this is equal to or greater than when the internet took over. And all those people that said, oh, it's not going to be anything. Look at it now. It's everything. So that's why it's good to stay informed and, always research your own, look into things. But yeah, I think we're heading into the future as we speak. So definitely stay safe. Try to, like Nova says, I really appreciate that. Stay safe, try to adapt and get new skills. That's all we can do, man. That's all you can do. Even if you're not learning new skills, just try to stay on top of things. Try to stay in a sense of awareness, right? Because at the very least, that is going to benefit you in some way. Staying aware. Don't be completely ignorant. You can be ignorant in the moment of suffering. You can ignore, how bad, like you could focus on how terrible things are, or you could kind of let them. I'm not saying that anything is okay or it's not. All right. But you guys make it, decide for yourself, right? I don't really know, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you if I know or not, because I don't. But like Nova said, I really respect that. You guys all have a good day, man. I'm probably going to head out of here in a second. Got 2% more. Well, until 10%, but then 10% we're heading out, and I gotta go get some water. Thankfully, it's complimentary, and that's not a joke either. The price of things is crazy. Yeah, just I wish you guys the best. I really do. I'm not better than you. I'm not any more educated. I'm definitely not. I'm definitely learning new things every minute. But if in just my opinion, I'm just saying that it's just my opinion that you might really want to just stay aware is all, and it's all we can really do. Can't really change things, man. You can kind of accept them, or obviously you can change what you do to a degree. But if we want to tie this really quickly back to me smoking weed, I didn't have power in that, if I'm being at all honest. I mean, maybe I did, but I'm just saying how I felt. I felt powerless, and it took me not wanting to do something. It wasn't no amount of want was going to change anything for me. It came down to something a little bit more than that. So just we'll see each other soon. I'm pretty hopeful of that. It's good to know I'm not banned on here. I'm not completely censored. I might be temporarily, but just kind of gotta evolve to things, adapt to things, and who knows? Who really knows, man? I mean, maybe I will make content again. I don't see a reason to. Like, if you guys are just happy talking, then that's enough for me, but I don't see a reason to make art. Now, if you find a reason to make art, do it. Don't ever stop. That's not my message at all. I want you to do what you want to do, but I'm just saying, for me personally, my version of art is being right now and too many things take me away from that. So that's my art, because I kind of have to have my own version of it. Like it shouldn't be about what other, like if art to somebody is painting or taking photos, then let it be that to them, but that doesn't have to be that to you. So us talking is the art. Now I appreciate that, man. Yo, what's up, Shay? Is this the real Ryan? That all depends. Yeah, but I appreciate you scrolling by on this live. Am I in Florida? No, but it sure feels like it. We're on the other side of the coast, on the West Coast. So just dealing with the weather. I think I said earlier, it was like there was like a couple feet of snow on the ground last month, and now it's literally got to be 90 degrees right here. So, you know, you tell me, is this a simulation or not? I don't know, but it sure feels more and more like it every day. And yeah, I guess even in the simulation, you still have to drink water. Red Bull doesn't cut it, so I've had my daily dose of caffeine. You know, I'm not trying to push over 400 milligrams. That's kind of my limit. If I hit 400, we're capping, we're getting cut off. That's where I stop. And I have a good, you know, I'm pretty good at being disciplined on that, because for whatever reason I am. It just, I think it's more about, well, I don't know what it's more about, but I can do it. So let me do that at least. And appreciate you guys, man. Again, 11%. We're about to go down. Those so-called lucky people are some of the most obnoxious and hollow. Yeah, it's true. You know, that's why I said doesn't really apply. You know, we're not really talking about those people. Are they even real? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know anybody like that in real life. Like, even the most successful people I know, well, the only successful people I know have had to work really hard and sacrifice to get to that point. No, none of them were lucky. None of them just woke up one day and were like, wow, I made it. You know, it's like, no. And I will say this, it mostly takes, the biggest thing you have to figure out how to do is say no. Because it's almost like every minute of every day, someone's trying to throw you off your path. Someone's like, here, you know, smoke this weed, and, you know, smoke this meth, you know, come to my house. I don't know. I'm just really throwing out ideas. But every moment of every day, someone's like, do this, do that, do this. It's not in line with your path. Don't do it. Say no. Don't be afraid to say no. Saying yes is easy. Anybody can say yes. Saying no is where it really becomes hard. And then, you know, once you do the hard things, you're on the self-improvement path. And when you're on the self-improvement path, your life is getting better, not worse. I mean, you could really play the game of, oh, my life sucks, it's not my fault, but that's not going to help you either. I mean, and again, I'm maybe horrible things have happened to you. I'm sorry, you know, I wish it wasn't that way. Horrible things have happened to me. Horrible things happen to people every day. But if you can keep going and not feel sorry, you know, I mean, it's okay to feel sorry for you. It's okay to be a human. It's not like we're trying to be robots. We're not. But you can't focus on all that noise. It's just noise. You gotta block it out a little bit. And so that's where it's okay to be ignorant. You can be ignorant to the doubt, to the baloney, to the Bolshevik. You can be ignorant to all that. That's fine. Completely so that you don't know anything at all maybe is dangerous, but you can be ignorant to it. You can ignore it to a degree, especially when it's self-inflicted, like self-doubt, self-hate. You can ignore that. And when you ignore that, it gets quieter and quieter and quieter, and eventually it's not there at all. So just don't feel like you can't, because again, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But if I had to look back 2 years ago and go, wow, I never would have thought I would get to this point, then that's all I need to know that it can work for anybody. Because if I was to look back on my life 2 years ago, which I do all the time, I was as far away from being right here as humanly possible. I hadn't made one step of progress or improvement towards anything good. It was all negative. It was all self-doubt. It was all self-pity. It was all, oh, poor me, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to do anything good with my life. But then it just takes one small step. That's all I'm trying to say. It's not about anything crazy. It's not about going too hard. It's not about running that first lap full sprint. It's about finding your pace and just locking in. And again, I mean, I will say the one exception for me is caffeine, but I would literally say, even including that, anything that locks you in locks you out. So don't need something to lock you in. Just do it. Just do it. And then you're good. Then you don't have to worry. Well, you do have to worry at every moment, but ensure yourself with positivity, with good support, and that insurance will be there for you when things get a little rough. It's so much so true that, I mean, I could think of a million examples, but again, my phone is at 8%. We're slowly creeping towards the bottom. So everybody just try to have a good day. Buy silver at the dip, homie. Of course, always go for the dip. You know what I mean? I don't really know if silver is the best thing you could buy, but it's definitely not the worst. And so again, I'm not here for financial advice, but playlist, I am completely agreeing with you. I'm just saying for other people, I don't know. But definitely a wise, good move. I mean, part of the reason why I wear this necklace I wear is just as a representation that to stay with the appreciation, stay with things that appreciate. I don't ever want to buy something ever again in my life that depreciates. I've done it too many times. I'll never do it again. If it doesn't have a return or appreciation, then I don't need it unless it's literally food or water. But those have appreciation and return because you literally need them to function. So I'm gonna go get a bottle of water. You guys have a great day, and I hope I see you soon.